Welcome to Shazza's Laughter Hour, here at Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7, 90.3 FM, or you can live stream through the website rnb.org.au or live stream via the radio app TuneIn Radio. Now, you're already listening, so you've done one of those options, and that's absolutely marvellous because tonight I have an absolutely fantastic guest. He's an interesting guy, one of the most interesting guys you'll ever meet. He's a comedy writer, comedian, scientist, meter reader, avid cyclist, and all-round good guy, Mr. Peter Green.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Peter.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on Shazza's Laughter Hour this week.
I've been described as interesting, but...
Yes. Well, I would say you're a very interesting person. So, Peter, tell me, you're a stand-up comedian and a comedy writer, but originally you studied something else quite different, didn't you?
I have a PhD in molecular biology, sea squirts.
In sea squirts. So
yes.
Does that mean you're a marine biologist with a particular
Well, I want to make
interest?
it sound cool,
Yes.
I'd say marine biologist.
Yeah.
Yes. If I want to get employed, I'd say molecular biologists because they make more money.
It does sound fancy, I have to say. Very fancy.
Doctorate in the front of my name, just if I think it may get me an upgrade somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I might get asked to deliver a baby in a plane or something, which I'll quite gladly do. But I won't be any better at it than like an amateur. But
You give it a go, though,
I'd
wouldn't
give it
you?
a go.
You'd go, look, that looks like a sea squirt coming out of there. Let's just give it a bit of a tug.
Party and people say, doctor, and they'll show me their body parts that was just sore, and look, it's good for a laugh. Can you help me with that? No. Look, thanks for that. Look, look.
Good for you, Pete.
Go, take an aspirin.
Now, just so the listeners know, Peter Green is also sometimes known as Greeny. And if you're lucky enough to be one of his friends, we do refer to him as Greeny. So for the remainder of this interview on this show, he's Mr. Greeny, Dr. Green, Dr. Green, or the less formal Greeny. Let's just call him Greeny.
Yeah, it sounds more working class that way.
That's marvellous, isn't it? Yes, street cred. So Greeny, you grew up in Sydney, didn't you?
I did.
What part of Sydney? You grew up in
St
Peakhurst?
George area.
Yes.
I went to a St George Grand final before I was born.
But were you in your mum's tummy?
I was.
My goodness me.
Yes, in her womb. Her tummy. Like, did you know about the birds and the bees, Sharon?
I forgot.
Not really in the tummy. Tummy's where the food goes.
Yes, that's it. No, well, we don't need to know anymore.
You got the birth... Oh, yeah, well, we won't get all scientist about it.
So I do know your mother loves sport, doesn't she?
She's a fanatical Dragons fan. Yes.
Is that rugby league?
Rugby league,
just for anyone that doesn't know.
Yes.
So rugby league football. Is that her primary, or does she like other sports as well, your mum?
Well, she got into the soccer, of course. My dad hated rugby league.
Yes.
So we're a very odd family when my mum was a fanatical rugby league fan and my dad hated rugby league. So it was usually it's the other way around. But and then we ended up going to a lot of soccer games as kids. My dad was a mad soccer fan, and St George had a very good soccer team too. So
yes, they did.
We did. They were like the best soccer team in Australia. So we went there pretty much every match, and it ended up as a comedy festival show. My
I know. What was that called?
Soccer Rooted.
Yeah.
It was all about the 32 years that the Australian soccer team kept not making the World Cup.
No.
For various hysterical reasons. Yes.
But now they're doing a lot better, aren't they?
They are.
We had a golden age of soccer at one point, or if you're
did,
listening in the Northern Hemisphere, that's known as football.
Football. Yeah, that's
football.
Soccer.
But we tend to colloquially call
posh
it soccer.
People call it football.
That's right.
Soccer.
We're not posh here on Shazza's Laughter Hour, so we're just going to call it whatever we want.
That's what I played.
So you grew up in Peakhurst, and you went to school there.
Yep.
And
Penshurst West Primary School.
Penshurst.
Yeah.
Yep.
And 3 older sisters.
3 older sisters.
I got very, very good in the art of sarcasm. Boys had older brothers, get very good at fighting. Boys had older sisters, very good at cutting wit.
And that stood you in good stead as you developed a comedy career.
Like guys who become professional boxers, have brothers. Guys who have older sisters, comedians.
That would have been exciting. Were your sisters involved in sport, or did they like sport growing up?
Yeah, we were encouraged. it was good. 'Cause my mum and dad would encourage both sides of it. Like, we were a smart family, but we were encouraged, like, if we were good at swimming, if we, say, swam 50 metres, we would get a book.
A book?
A book. And we love books and readings.
Oh.
But that's great because, like, you're encouraged to do something sporty and physical.
Yeah.
But your reward was something quite intellectual and intelligent.
So that's a good balance, really,
It
isn't
was,
it?
yeah,
Particularly for a
yeah.
child growing up to say you can do both.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, we weren't, we were encouraged, like, there was no one saying, hey, you can't do this because you're from here or you're this. No, you were encouraged to pursue whatever we wanted to be.
Oh, that's
So
marvellous.
great mum and dad.
So, Greeny, you finished school
Yep.
and you went to university, is that
Yes,
right?
I did.
And was that in Sydney?
That was it. That I did. Well, it was the Institute of Technology,
Oh, the
which
the
is the
Institute.
university now.
It's called the Institute.
University of
isn't it?
Technology, yeah, but it was the institute when I went there.
Yes.
And it was one that was one of the very first courses in media studies, actually.
Mm.
So I did I majored in journalism and media studies, and then left that and started working for a bank. Because I found out I was a very bad journalist.
Did you?
I could not interview people at all. I was too terrified of speaking to people.
So
and
maybe
asking
just the
hard
writing.
questions.
You probably needed a journalism buddy to do the actual interview.
Yeah,
You just
I
transcribed
can
it.
write the words and swim 50 metres, but
Yeah.
in terms of actually approaching, say, some kind of cagey person with something to hide.
Oh, okay. Like a Today
not very
Tonight
good. No,
investigative
I couldn't be-
journalism.
No, I would start to stutter. I would be terrible.
Well,
So I
yes.
realised and I wanted. Now I want to become a journalist because of my hero when I was growing up, Richie Cunningham. He wanted to be a journalist.
That's
and
it.
So did I. Yeah,
That's it.
I wasn't going to be the Fonz. I
No.
wasn't going to be a mechanic.
No.
Or Ralph Mouth. Oh,
You had your
no,
favourite.
I ended up probably closer to Ralph Mouth in the end.
Yes, well, you
The
know,
funny man.
I'm
Yeah.
almost an award-winning journalist. I had a letter published in TV Soap magazine recently.
Did you?
Yes, about Thorne from The Bold and the Beautiful needing to shave his moustache off.
Well, that's
And
about
I
time someone
won.
tackled that.
Yes,
So that
It was
there's a lot of
hard
fake
hitting.
news around that.
that's it.
Fake news.
It was
So-
hard hitting, and you know
Yeah,
what?
it's about-
I think it worked because
Keeping
his face is
democracy
a
alive.
lot less
Did he
hairy
shave?
at the moment.
Did he shave?
It's almost
It
gone.
was because of your letter.
I think it was.
He
And
read TV Soap magazine.
in Australia.
Little tear ran down his eye.
That's it. It
No,
comes
what's the
out every
moustache?
fortnight, and the producers of The Bold and the Beautiful went, we better pay attention
Who's
to
this
this
Sharon
one.
who's going off about my moustache?
And I won a beautiful prize.
You won a prize,
I
yes?
won pens and crayons and pencils in a
Crayons.
lovely parcel that arrived last week.
That's fantastic.
So
Isn't
I
it
can
good?
colour in for hours now.
I got a reply from the romper room lady. Remember romper room?
Romper Room. Tell
Yeah.
the listeners what Romper Room
Romper room was
is.
something I used to watch about 10 o'clock every morning, and there's like 6 kids there, and they sing songs.
Yeah.
They walk
It's a
around
TV
in
program.
cardboard cars, pretending to be cars. There's a puppet of a bee called Mr. Doobie. He'd teach you good manners, like do be this, do be that. You know, don't. There wasn't a Mr. Don't Be because he was bad.
Yeah.
He was a bad bee.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I have a letter from it was Miss Patricia. It was late.
Yep.
Yeah, so I obviously wrote her a letter saying I love the show. You know, maybe a bit more cleavage, but you know.
That was your early foray into journalism.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Asking the hard questions.
That's it.
Yeah.
They are hard questions,
They are.
particularly when it comes to
Yeah.
Miss Patricia's cleavage.
I see Mr. Doobie at the pub, so I think he was.
I think I may have had a Romper Room little horse that ran around.
Oh, you
Did you
did,
have
yes.
one of
There
those?
was the horse too.
I think
Yeah.
by the time I
And
wanted to
the
go on it, I was
Bend
too
and
old.
stretch, reach for the stars.
Yeah.
See my whole head up high like a soldier marching by.
That's it, all of
If you
that.
started a Romper Room song, I would finish it off.
Well, that's absolutely marvellous.
Yeah,
Maybe
Come
later
with
on
us
in the
and gallop.
show.
That was the horse song.
Would you like to lead us in a chorus of Come With Us and Gallop?
Come with us and gallop. And
Gallop
gallop, and
and
gallop.
gallop.
See, look, it's kicking in. Come with us and gallop in
And
Romper
Romper
Room
Room
today.
today.
Our animal friends will take us. Will take us. Will take us. Animal friends will take us to places far away.
Oh,
Oh,
isn't that marvellous?
there we
Look,
go.
I think I've just gained extra listeners all over the
You
world from
bet.
that.
And,
They're
and you
wondering.
drink your milk too. That was
Yeah,
an
that's
important
right.
part
Your
of it.
glass of
There was
milk.
play school. That was more for the the slow kids.
So, Peter Green, how did you go from being in a bank to
Yes.
studying sea squirts?
Well, I just couldn't sleep at night because I wanted to do something more with my life, and I went to the bank, to the public service, and I worked at Consumer Affairs Department for 10 years, and then I did my science degree at night.
Oh, right. So this was a separate degree from your initial degree.
Yes, because I didn't do anything with that
No.
first degree, and then I thought I want another degree. I want another degree I'm not going to do anything with. What
Yes.
can I do?
What
I
can
was
you
doing
do?
stand-up comedy at the time
Okay.
already, and I thought
Did you start that as a
I need
young
more
man?
of a social life. And what's cooler than stand-up comedy? Scientist.
Yeah.
You know, 5 years at night doing my science degree, doing a bit of stand-up comedy, working in the public service. So
You
but
would have
my
been
night-
extremely busy.
I was very busy with the 90s, and then I got my PhD, working on trying to work out find an immune system protein from a sea squirt, which I never found.
Does it exist?
Pretty sure it's
What
there.
about the Galapagos Islands? That seems to have everything over there.
That's a fantastic. I love to go.
You might need to go
They have
there.
lizards who swim in the ocean.
Do you know what
How
I've
good-
seen?
How cool is that?
In the Bahamas, there's
Yeah.
pigs that go swimming like they are
Pigs?
dogs. You
Excellent.
see Professor Brian Cox's DVD.
I like Brian Cox. He's a
He's
funny
a fine
man.
man.
And he was in a band, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was in a band
Yeah.
to start with, so he
Yeah.
was a very cool scientist.
He's a Renaissance man.
He is.
Yeah.
And he has a DVD which I was actually given for Christmas. It's a few years old now, but there are pigs that go swimming in the Bahamas like they are dogs, and they're wild pigs. And no
They just
one
like to
catches
swim.
them and tries
No,
to eat them.
No
and
one trained them.
no one's trained them. It's just evolution and,
They said,
and
they
natural
swim in the ocean.
selection.
They said you get salted pork.
I don't think anyone wants to eat them. I think they're
No.
just like a
You
family
would
pet.
you? No, a pig with that kind of skill. You know, you one leg at a time.
I think only if there's a famine. The rest of the time, I
Exactly,
think
yeah.
they just leave them to it, and they have a wonderful
They have a great
time
time.
swimming at the
That's
Bahamas
fantastic.
with
Pigs are very
Professor
smart.
Brian Cox.
The pigs and humans,
Yeah.
and any animals that get sunburned.
Now, Peter Green, how
Yep.
did you get into the meter reading game? Is it science? Is science a little bit of a tricky job?
The bottom fell out of the comedy writing gig for me.
What
So
was that for? You were
I was
working on
writing
a
for
show.
Australia's Funniest Home Video Show for 13 years.
Oh my goodness, 13
and that's a
years.
long job in TV comedy writing, because most TV shows last 1-2 years. Funny Videos lasted 21 years, and I was there for 13 years. But when it ended, I didn't have the skills to find other jobs which other comedy writers have, because their shows end very quickly. I was punished for being a writer on a good show, which
Oh,
lasted. So I tried to get other jobs. I couldn't, so I think I had to obviously make a living. So I read meters at the moment.
just at the moment, anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for an excellent comedy writer,
Oh yes.
who's clever and has some science background and
Yeah,
is
science,
also good at
yes.
sport,
And Consumer Affairs. Check
please
out people. Hey,
get
hey.
in touch with
Yeah.
Shazza's Laughter Hour or
Yeah.
the radio station, and I'll put
Yeah.
you in touch with
Or
Professor
cats.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Or sea squirts, maybe. There's some guys like, I'm going to write a show about a sea squirt.
I
Can't
need
find a writer.
I need a technical director.
Oh, so maybe there's someone who knew sea squirts and comedy.
There's a niche
Great idea
market.
for a show about this, about the things that leave in the interstitial zone, and it's a scientific word for
That's
where
it.
the tide comes in and out.
Say that word again, please.
Interstitial zone.
Oh my goodness, that's
Where
exciting.
the tide comes in and out.
Well, what kind
Where
of?
sea squirts live.
That's where they live. And tell me, Greeny, with Funniest Home Videos, what
Yep.
was your workday like with that? How did you come up with all those funny little
That was
bits?
fantastic. It was like being paid to write dad jokes for a living.
Yeah.
You get a tape. A man would come round to my house every week with a tape full of funny videos. I'd sit at home and try to think, okay, what new thing can I say about a kid getting hit in the face by a swing? And like this, it's pretty easy the first time, and the second time, when you're about your 30th kid falling off a bike for the year,
Oh,
it's
you have to
quite a
dig deep,
challenge, yeah.
don't you?
And it's a big. You
go
need a big-
outside the box.
You need a big shovel. You need one of those diggers.
You need a big
Yeah,
digger.
you need a bobcat.
Now, did you do the voiceovers for that, or was that another
No, it was
person?
a genius called Dave Gibson.
Hmm.
Fantastic guy to write for. You just give him a slight hint of what sort of what the instruction would be like feisty wombat, and he would just take that and run with it. You get disgruntled crow as a voice, and he would
He would
that's-
know what to
That's
do.
exactly what a disgruntled crow would sound like.
Oh,
So he
goodness.
was the keys of comedy writing is if you're writing with someone who gets the jokes, it's fantastic. I've written with the people who get the joke, and it's great. Paul McDermott, great guy to write for. Dave Gibson on the Funny Same Video Show. That was the funniest comedy performance every week on Australian television, and was just not recognised because it was a show that wasn't held in kind of.
It was more family friendly, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Commercial network.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
Good
defend
fun.
the show on too many levels, but it was just a funny show. You could sit down with your kids and you both laugh at the same stuff.
And those kind of shows, the funniest home videos, were worldwide.
Yeah, well,
Because it translates to any language and
yeah,
any culture,
exactly.
doesn't
Like
it? Nanna
the guy
falling
hitting
over.
the nuts with a football is funny.
It's
no matter
funny
what
anywhere, isn't it?
It's funny in Arabic. It's funny in
Japanese.
Inuit, it's funny
Yep.
in Mandarin. It's
Nanna's falling down
Swahili.
swings and their
It's a
pants
show
split.
that a caveman could watch and get into.
And I think in our sophisticated lifestyle we have, where everyone's always on the go, I think it's nice to have something that's a little bit more simple and not too hard to understand.
Everyone's trying
Just
to
a
be very
visual.
too clever at the moment,
Too
aren't
clever.
they?
We don't need that.
They're trying to be clever clogs with their comedy. Because you're competing with everyone in the world in comedy now, because comedy goes out on the net, and every person in the world has a go at that subject. So the best joke about anything happening in the world is there's 8 million people competing to write it. So it's getting very clever clogsy.
Yes.
Comedy it's
Let's strip it back to just
Strip it
fun.
back to
Fun and
funny
entertainment.
farts.
Doesn't have to mean
Strip
anything.
it back to people hitting their heads on heavy things.
That's it. Well, what a shame that Funniest Home Videos has gone into hiatus now.
Yeah. And our favourite, we had a fellow on Funny Home Videos, fell up in Cairns, who would send us about a video every 3 months, a fake Funny Home video. And we were so looking forward. It was like the John Cassavetes of Funny Home Videos. Like, no, I'm not sure that reference would be lost on anyone, but this guy had
Look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Look up A Woman Under the Influence. Anyway, great movie. This guy he would do stage these elaborate Funny Home videos for us, and we would love them. Like, he was a baker. So he had one where he had a big, hot, tall chef's hat on his head, and someone pushed him in the back. He leant forward, his chef's hat fell into the oven, and his head caught on fire.
Was it his head?
His
or
head,
a fake
yeah.
head?
No, it was his real head.
Was this just to win money or just to be on TV?
Just to win, hopefully to win like the $200,000 and offer. I think the most he won was maybe like a free disposable camera.
Could you pick up straight away that it was fake?
Yeah,
It
we
wasn't.
didn't care because
No.
it was so funny, and he there was such joy. You could tell this guy loved doing what he was doing, and we loved our job. Can you imagine your job being to sit in front of your TV and write something funny about someone getting hit in the balls by a cricket ball?
I couldn't think of a better job,
job,
to be quite honest.
I used to pitch myself and say, I'm being paid to do this.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I'm glad you had at least 13 years.
13
It's a shame
years
it wasn't
of the best
longer,
job in
but
the world.
yeah.
You know, like the occasional bit of sunlight, and it was, yeah.
And you had a good team of people. Did you all work together for that time, or different
Well,
crew
we
members and
occasionally-
producer?
Well, it was me and this one other guy, Steve Walsh, great comedy. We had like the 2 best comedy writers in Australia writing on this Funny Same Video Show.
Yeah.
And we would get together once a week, and for 2 hours we would just, run our jokes by each other. And that was the 2 funniest hours in Australia every week. There was never filmed like
No.
that. And our producer Brian was a funny guy too. It was just
Is that Brian Cockerell?
Brian Cockerell.
Yeah,
yes.
shout out to him for being a wonderful producer.
Yeah, most untelevision guy in television.
Yeah.
Just a lovely human being.
Oh, that's marvellous.
Yeah, no, that was like the highlight of my week, was just going in there and running. That's what writing for comedy show is. Writing for comedy is about. It's about the interactions that you don't see, that don't get onto the screen, but the writers just bouncing ideas off each other. Like I've written for the in writers' rooms for a show called O'Loughlin on Saturday night with Tom Gleeson. So imagine stuck in a room with Tom Gleeson all week, just bouncing ideas off. That was just a highlight. Worked for the Matty John show. A fellow called Subby Valentine, a brilliant comedian, and just you're being paid to, sit around with your mates and talk funny stuff.
Yeah, exercise your wit in the best possible way.
And it goes out there and makes people happy. Hopefully, you end product of something which gives someone a smile. How good a job's that? Performing stand-up comedy is great fun. It's a buzz. You get out in front of the crowd, and it's the adrenaline, the endorphins get running. It's a brilliant feeling. The best feeling in comedy is when you got the audience, they're having fun, they're listening. That silence of the audience listening for the next joke, and you know that the next joke is a good joke.
Yes.
And it's like, I imagine it's like a surfer about to jump onto a good wave or something. It's this.
So is it a symbiotic kind of relationship? Have I used the right word?
Your enjoyment is so dependent on how much the audience is enjoying the show.
That's right.
It's if you could say the same joke, it's a good joke, but the audience isn't enjoying it, you feel almost embarrassed.
And that can be any number of circumstances.
Yeah, exactly,
some out of your control even.
That's the good. It's a joy and the opposite of joy about stand-up comedy. You don't know what's going to happen every night before you walk out on stage and do what you're going to do.
You can only be so much prepared, and then
you
see
put
what
the hard
happens.
yards in. You've written your jokes. You've performed it before. You know how to sell the jokes, but the crowd mightn't be up for it. Something might happen, and you don't get that fix of joy. But because the upside is that they could be a fantastic crowd, and you ride them like a wave.
Now tell me, Greeny, apart from comedy writing, you've actually written a couple of books, haven't you?
I have.
Tell the listeners what these particular books about.
15 years ago, me and a friend of mine called Dominic O'Kieran, we thought we're going to cycle around Australia and do stand-up comedy shows every night at the end of the day cycling. So we did this tour around Australia called the Last Legs Comedy Tour. We raised $40,000 for the Cancer Council. We could have stayed at home and just accepted our wages and made more money. But I wrote a book about this cycle ride around Australia, and self-published it. I sent it off to a few publishers, but I was probably a bit rough around the edges for the publishing industry. It was. Because it was a book about guys, the people who live in the outback, and
it was earthy, wasn't it?
It was earthy. Earthy is a good word. Yes. Feral was
another word. And what prompted you and Dom to go on this tour?
We love cycling.
We love cycling.
We love cycling, and cycling. If you cycle all day long from one point to another in Australia, it's an adventure, and you meet people. When you cycle, people who are driving by will stop and pull over and say hello. If you're in your car driving somewhere, you drive past places. If you're in your bike, you've got enough time to stop and say, that place is interesting, I'm going to stop and have a chat. So if we saw an interesting place, and someone with an interesting garden, someone with, you just lean your bike on your fence, knock on their door, and most people who've got interesting stuff around their house are up for a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you meet the most interesting people.
And was this a starting point from Sydney, and did you take it from there?
We went from Sydney, we went up to Brisbane, up to Cooktown.
And this is all cycling. Did you get any kind of transport? Did you fly any of it?
Around Australia, there was four of us. There was me and Dominic, a fellow called Bushy, who was a fantastic guitar playing singer guy, a fellow called James, who was our mate. The most lovable guy you'd ever want to meet in your life, and one of the weirdest guys you ever want to meet in your life. But and we had a car pulling a trailer, so every fourth day one of us would not ride the bikes and drive the car.
Yeah, you had a backup vehicle.
We were carrying microphone stands, all the stuff we need for comedy, tents, swag.
And that was all in the car, so it wasn't on your backs, which I think is a good idea.
But eventually, me and Dominic, now we do the tours ourselves without a car. So Dominic rides around with a big boxy speaker on the front of his bike, and I got a microphone stand which I sent away to Germany to buy, which comes apart into 3 pieces.
Goodness
Which
me.
is very rare for a microphone stand.
That
because
is
it means you
rare.
can fit it all on the back of your bike.
Wow,
And,
how resourceful
and-
is that?
Yes.
Do you have any cycling trips planned in the near
We're
future or the
thinking about
distant
doing-
future?
Yeah, we're thinking about doing one from Perth down to Albany.
That would be
Because
lovely.
there's a bike trail which goes into the hills over Perth, and then you emerge in Albany about 2 weeks later. But apparently you stop in a few little towns.
And
But
when you go away,
yes.
do you plan in advance pubs or venues where you'll do a comedy show and maybe stay overnight? So do you
Yeah.
have to look at maps and do all that sort
I
of thing?
love looking at a good map. I'm the map man. I'm a little spectrumy, so I love a good map, and I'll plot every day on the map. And then Dominic has a job of calling up the towns. He usually calls the police station, and he says, "Which pub in town do you throw the most people out of on a Saturday night?" The policeman say, "Well, the top pub or the bottom pub." All right, and then Dominic will call the top pub. And so, right, you guys up for a comedy show? We're a couple of blokes. We're going to lob into town. And most small towns, people are bored.
Yes.
People want some attention. So the guy who owns the pub, he knows he's going to be a bit of a legend. He puts on something that's a bit different. So generally he'll get some. Yeah, turn up. We'll put you up. We'll feed you. We'll give you a few beers, and and the best places are usually the really tiny towns, with someone really enthusiastic at the other end. So we'll do a town with like 100 people living there, where 200 people will turn up for the show.
That's
like
remarkable.
Like the person, everyone in town will be there, and everyone from the farms around. There'll be a few backpackers passing through, and we'll have a great night.
That was Slim Dusty with his 1980 legendary song Duncan, and you're listening to Shazza's Laughter Hour at Radio Northern Beaches. And now back to my interview with Peter Green.
We're just in the pub, which normally isn't set up for a comedy show. We'll do the show, then we'll just sit around and talk to everyone afterwards, and people, these rough blokes with no teeth come and tell you their favourite jokes, and people, back at the house party at someone's house, and you just get insight into a town which you wouldn't get if you were touring around somewhere.
You would accumulate so many interesting and funny stories.
You meet with a lot of bullheads. I set my bum on fire. I probably should tell you that story.
I think the listeners would like to hear
People
about
want to know a
that
bit
story.
of bum fire stories. We did this show in a place called Lakeland, just a town up in it's named after some place in England, because you go there's no lake, a lot of land, but it's just this flat place, cattle country. It's between Cooktown and Cairns, and we've ridden up the hill from Cooktown. It was about a 100-kilometre bike ride. We were really tired. One of the guys had done the whole thing nude. That was James. I was riding.
Did he wear sunscreen or a hat?
Maybe sunscreen. He might have had a hat.
Was this summer? Because he would have been quite
It was probably
sunburnt.
about May, so it was
Oh, well, that
probably
would have
like
been very pleasant.
Yeah, summer's past perihelion.
That's
and,
all right.
Yeah.
Did
But
he have a
anyway,
little, Did he have a padded seat? Can I just ask you that?
No.
Or do you prefer not to think
he's
about
one of
it?
those guys, like people who ride. It was mainly uphill, so when you ride a bike uphill, you tend to get up on your haunches.
Oh, okay.
Your bum's not touching the seat.
No.
Because I was struggling up the hill, and this person goes by. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's James. You've got no clothes on. Again. And then, anyway, we get to this town called Lakeland.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. And what
That's a
happened?
pleasure. So we're seeing our show in this pub. It's a cattle country. The town's got maybe a population of about 50. There's about 30 people in this pub. They're all watching like a suburban rugby game from Sydney, like Eastwood versus like Warringah or something no one would care about, but the TV's on there watching it. They're not interested in us at all. We start our show, no one cares at all. Dominic brings me on. I realise no one cares. There's a 3-year-old daughter of one of these really rough looking cattle guys' house. All right, darling, what's your favourite song? And she says it's the Bananas in Pyjamas scene. So, right, this whole pub is going to sing the Bananas in Pyjamas song, or else and I said, right, banana, and I got 30 like bushy blokes singing Bananas in Pyjamas, and this girl, because she was the only person paying us any attention to this,
Yes.
3-year-old in front of us, like, I got to
Rewarded for that.
I got to entertain you.
Yeah.
So we've got these 30 like rough North Queenslanders singing the Bananas in Pyjamas song, and they just liked us after that. We had the best night ever. But we started playing our favourite pub game after this because the lady who owned the pub has instructed the fellow who owned the pub couldn't stick around and drink with us. He was going to a dinner party. I know, we're not. What the hell is people in North Queensland? Who's holding a dinner party?
No.
Anyway, he goes.
Bit fancy?
The lady, the girl who's left in charge, just brings out this string of shots. Says, right, I've been told to get you guys slaughtered because the guy who owns the pub really enjoyed the show. And I thought, okay, we'll get slaughtered. So half an hour later, we're really drunk. We're playing our favourite drinking game, a game called Flaming Arseholes. I don't know if that's the Macquarie Dictionary definition of this game, but the rules of Flaming Arseholes go as such. Whoever the player of the game is, they buy them 3 middies of beer. Now, they set them up on the bar. This is quite a long bar, so it's like a cattleman's bar.
That's good.
It's 150 metres a bar, right? Set 1 middy at the front of the bar, 1 at the middle of the bar, 1 at the end of the bar. The player of the game drops their strides, gets a roll of newspaper, rolls it up into a tube, inserts it into their anal cleft. Right.
That's the technical word for it.
Word, right. A trusted friend then sets the end of it on fire. Now the clenchee starts at the first beer, sculls the first beer, waddles down the bar, grabs the second beer, sculls the third beer, has to get to the end of the bar, scull all 3 beers before the flames get to the undergrowth.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, now,
yeah.
I volunteered to go first, right? Because I wanted to impress these tough North Queenslanders. And I was the Macquarie University champion of this, by the way.
So this is an
not
Australia-wide game. Yeah,
no, it's a worldwide game. And I impressed everyone at Macquarie University by doing this at the Smiths Lake Ecology Camp.
Wow.
Loved it, yeah, anyway.
Wow.
Now, I'm used to playing this in Sydney. And the newspaper I use in Sydney is the Sydney Morning Herald. Now,
That's a big newspaper.
Exactly.
That's big.
Now, the only paper they have in Lakeland is the Cairns Times. Now, that's what they call a tabloid. Much shorter than a broadsheet. So I was in trouble.
Yeah,
before
you got to
got
get onto
through
that.
the second beer.
Oh my goodness!
So
it's going to be the smell of burning any moment.
There was singed hair, singed human hair, and everyone was standing around. They had a beer in their hand. Now they could have doused the flames, but they go, no, it's a beer.
No, they can't waste that.
I had a beer in my hand.
Yeah.
Same thoughts.
No.
They just swipe around. Dominic was there with a jug of water, like he was like the OH&S guy.
That's it.
Yeah, no, he was having too much fun.
He said, "Let's see where this goes."
I'd say a 9 square inch amount of skin off my right cheek. Had to cycle 150 kilometres the next day.
No, oh dear.
Couldn't get any medical help till Cloncurry. About a week later.
Did you wear pants while you were cycling after that ordeal?
I did, yeah, I did. I tucked them in.
Yeah.
Into
well. You didn't want anything rubbing against that area.
No. The next night I was very pale.
Did you have a medical kit with paracetamol?
Well, that's when you find who you
Savlon.
A true friend is a friend who will replace your arse bandage for you in your room every night. Dominic Kieran is a true friend.
He is.
He is, yes.
What a marvellous person.
He was, yeah. But we've finally got the Clongo.
I think we need
went to their hospital there.
Do a little shout out to Dominic for doing that.
I think so. Dominic's
if you need your dressing changed at any time, we can put you in touch with him.
Yeah,
He's 100% trustworthy.
If you got it.
He doesn't shirk any responsibility.
No. Exactly.
No matter what part of the body it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what it did give us, though, because what we used to do at the end of every show, we'd ask the audience, have you got a scar? Tell us your story. And of course, these people outside of the cities in Australia, they do nothing but hurt themselves on bits of metal all day long.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's just what you did.
Right. So we get a lot up at people with awful scar stories, but we had the best scar story to finish off the show.
Yes.
I would tell my story and we'd say, all right, who wants to see Peter's scar? And of course the whole crowd would go, yay! So I would just flash my bum all around Australia for the next 6 months.
And made so many good friends.
And if you had a bad
it.
night or someone in the crowd who really annoyed you, you'd just flash that bum at them.
Wow.
And when we got to Perth and my mum and my sister flew over to see the show. And so I also flashed my bum to 200 strangers. My mum, my grey-haired old mum, said, Peter, I've never been more proud of you in my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, it's so nice to get parental, your achievements.
You can see where the genes go.
That's it, where you get it from, and to have them just compliment you on that. Oh, very proud. And you also went to New Zealand, didn't you, on a cycling trip?
We did. We took the show around New Zealand. We'd raised money for... It's just after the Greymouth coal mining thing. So we raised money for the families of the coal miners. But yes, I wrote a book about that too called Bad Hobbits.
So what are the names of your books,
okay,
Peter?
The first book was called
and how can we find them?
Oh, if you put the word... Well, I invented the word. Foolishly invented the word for my first book. I thought of a much better name for it later on, but it's called I Use the Commodians. And that's based on about our tour around Australia. That's based on our show at Port Macquarie, where we're about to start our show, and these two rough-looking blokes come out. You guys use the Commodians!
Use the Commodians?
Yes, oh, right, we need a laugh. And these two blokes from out Dubbo, they were great blokes. But they'd just been to Newcastle the night before, and some guys had tried to beat them up. So they're walking home from the pub, and they said, oh mate, these guys are following us, they want to steal our money. We'll just go to the nearest bar. And then we knew this, the only gay pub in Newcastle. They said, oh mate, we looked around and thought, we'll take our chances with the guys who want to beat us up. Wrong, but it's very funny.
Yeah.
So but anyway, that's how we called it. I use the Commodians.
I use the
Commodians. Comoydins.
Just spelt how it sounded, really.
Yeah, put Commodians.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's any place you'll find Commodians on Google.
Yes.
Put up, you get it for about $30, $20. I don't know what I charge for it. It's a good read.
It's a very good read.
It
sounds
rough
like
around the edges.
A bit rough with some real characters in that story. So how many you've written? 2 or 3 books?
2 now.
2 books of your cycling adventures.
Yeah, 2 books.
Oh, yours, the Commodians.
Yeah, the Commodians
and Bad
Hobbits.
That's about your trip around New Zealand.
Yeah,
so if anyone would like a good read, a good laughing romp,
laugh out loud,
with earthy
funny
characters
stuff
and
about if you ever been around Australia,
things being set on fire,
nomad, if you like
scenery.
Comedy, if you need something to buy your mum for Mother's Day,
that's it.
Exactly.
Just the perfect read.
Day.
Get in touch with Shazza's Laughter Hour or
my friend
Peter
Julia
Green
Wilson
direct.
Puts it in her good toilet.
In the good toilet. It's a
toilet,
good toilet book.
It goes in the good toilet.
Not the bad toilet,
not the bad
good
toilet.
one.
The book she puts
good
in the
one.
good toilet. I can't think of higher praise than we'll put your book in the good toilet.
I think so. You should say toilet.
Toilet.
Now tell me, Peter, that must keep you pretty fit doing all that cycling. Do you play any other sport? Do you like swimming, or do you do anything else to keep fit and well?
Well, I keep fit at work.
Yes, you do walk a lot, don't you?
Electricity meters, which means a lot of walking.
A lot of walking.
You walk around.
And a lot of time to think too while you're walking.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. You're seeing a lot of Sydney.
Yes.
You're seeing.
Are you sent to one part of Sydney or all over?
I do mainly. I do the St George area, but I'm all over. I'm often there's a meter reader goes down for some reason, you know.
Yes, and you go down and you can jump in.
I had to jump in and do the eastern suburbs or Newtown.
That's a sacrifice in itself.
But as a meter reader, you get very obsessed with hills, dogs, wasps. You know, your world shrinks to. What's going to kill me in my next meter read? Is it going to be?
So do you listen to music while you're walking around Greeny? with headphones or anything? Do you like music?
Some guys bang on the podcast or something. I like to keep my wits about me.
You might listen to this one day while you're walking around.
That would be a good one, actually.
Yes.
You have some very good people on your podcast.
I have excellent people on Shazza's Laugh Around Radio Northern Beaches.
I Twitter. Generally, if I get to a meter where I can sit there for a minute, I'll check the Twitter feed and see what's going on.
A bit of social media action.
Because I write for something called The Un-Australian, which is like a bit like Australia's version of The Onion. And so I like to keep on top of what's happening.
That's
in the world.
mainly political humour and commentary?
Yeah.
Or anything?
Yeah, it's about like the
News?
idiots who become politicians in Australia. And it's been a bit dull lately because we've had Malcolm Turnbull in charge and he's kind of mildly competent. But it was great when Tony Abbott was in charge, and we really hope that Peter Dutton gets in charge.
Yes, we want a bit of scandal, a bit of incompetence.
You want
just to make it interesting. Yeah.
A nasty
so the comedians have
individual,
something to be able to talk about.
Yeah, you want. I think Bill Shorten would be bad for satire because he's dull as.
That's it.
Albo might be better because he's got. But you know.
Of course, I'd like a nice woman.
Trump's great.
Proper woman.
Yeah,
Good woman.
Julia was good.
Oh,
How
yes.
good would Penny Wong be as Prime Minister?
Oh, that would just kick it out of the park.
If we all love Penny, everyone.
We hope so.
Penny Wong.
We just want someone good.
Get her out of the Senate. Put her into a seat. Make her the Prime Minister.
That's it. That would be a big day, a big celebration. So Peter, we want to. While you're talking about all these fabulous women, do you have any women singers or musicians that you like? Because we might put a song on. Piece of music to celebrate women in politics.
I wish you could cut it right now because I've forgotten the name of my favourite singer.
Is it?
I like a bit of Claire Bowditch. I like a bit of Casey Chambers. You know, there's a lot of good.
There's a lot of good singers, so we might
Debbie
find
Harry,
some.
got any Blondie?
Do you like some Blondie? Do you?
Blondie, put a bang a bit of Blondie.
What about "Call Me" by Blondie?
Bang on, Call Me, yeah.
Because that would be a little shout out to people to call Peter Greene if they need a good comedy writer.
Yeah,
how would you like to introduce that? Or would you like to introduce
Richard
this song?
Gere was a male escort. It was a good movie called
that was a fine movie. Yes.
Call Me was a movie. And that was
I remember that. I remember picking out suits and having not many clothes on at other times.
Yeah, well...
What about Call Me?
Wrap this around your ears. Call Me by Blondie.
And that was... Call Me by Blondie.
That's why I'm not a DJ.
No, that's it. Well,
this is
that was
exciting.
By the other band. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Australian bands. Do you like any Australian bands, Peter Greene?
I love Australia. The Church.
Yes.
The Cruel Sea.
Oh, his gravelly voice is amazing, isn't it?
Spy V died pretty. Died pretty. Ever heard of them?
No.
But I'm
sure the radio station's huge list of music would have something like that.
Look, yeah, David C plays some great stuff. I wish I could name them. Gurrimal, you like Gurrimal?
Absolutely.
Hey, they just dropped his latest album. Like the poor fella died, but this latest out is just brilliant stuff. It's like classical music combined with
heart and soul.
Heart and soul with a bit of didge. It's just brilliant stuff.
Well,
bit of My Friend the Chocolate Cake. You drop some of that in.
Yes, yeah. That's marvellous. What would be your favourite Cruel Sea song?
There's
one which
got me through. It's not really one. The one of the big ones. It's called "It Won't Last."
Yeah.
It's the best song if you're feeling down because it says you think you're the top of the world, but then you're not. And there's about 2 verses, and then it says, then things will turn around.
So it's almost uplifting, isn't it?
It is.
That's what we want on Shazza's Laugh Around.
It won't last. It won't last.
It won't last. Things will get better.
If you're feeling bad, it won't last. Things will turn around. Something will make it turn around.
Even if the honeymoon's over, it won't last.
You slipped a bit of Cruel Sea into there.
Slipped a bit of that in. That's it.
Bit of B Suburban, they're pretty good. The
yes.
We used to start talking about Aussie bands.
That's it. That was a golden
Split
era.
Ends.
Absolutely.
Crowded House.
Absolutely. What do you think about
Mio 245?
What do you think about Neil Finn going into the new band?
The Fleetwood Macs. Well,
Lindsay Buckingham. Do you think that's a good mix?
What I liked about that is a lot of people started demanding that Peter Greene come back to Fleetwood Mac.
That's it,
And
because
I
I
was
brought
flattered.
that up for that.
I was
Yeah.
flattered.
I saw
Well,
that in the
funny is,
media. I saw that.
I often get. When I was advertised to do a gig once at something called the Laugh Garage, great old comedy room in Sydney. And some fellow called from Argentina saying, "It's Peter Green doing comedy. I will fly over from Argentina to watch Peter Green do comedy." And
Why was he particularly in Argentina, do you know?
I don't.
Had he seen
I guess
you?
he was Argentinian.
But had he seen you in Sydney on a show?
No, I don't
Or
think it was me. It was the other Peter Green.
Was it a random phone call?
It was
Someone.
the Peter Green. He was a fan of Fleetwood Mac. Peter Green was the original guitarist of Fleetwood Mac.
Yes, yes. Oh, I see what you're getting at. And he
so
thought
he
you were.
thought that and I really said, look, the fellow who invented them, like, look, just say yes, he is. And this guy, mate, he's aged really well.
I can see the confusion.
And as a comedian, he makes a good guitarist. I assume that would be the review. I was thinking this guy jumped on his plane from Buenos Aires, getting on, getting on the Chilean
Yes,
airline,
that's right. Well, it would take 24 hours, I think.
Stopping at Auckland on the way over.
Goodness me.
Getting in the life guard. What the hell? This bloke's like the.
He's not who we wanted.
He's not even going to play Albatross.
That's the wrong Peter Green. This is a different
But
Peter Green.
It was very flattering to see my name all over the internet for a day.
What a great story, Peter Green.
I
You're a
heard
guest.
Neil Finn live recently.
Yes. Oh,
For free.
Really?
'Cause I went over to Auckland, he was playing a show, and I just lingered outside the venue and heard a whole Neil Finn concert without having to pay a cent.
Oh, that's absolutely marvellous.
And now as I was walking away, there was another show on. It was a band called The Exponents, who are a great New Zealand band. 2 great shows for free on one night. It was
That's
fantastic.
what you want if you're an Australian on a holiday.
Australian on a holiday and
In New
you're
Zealand.
cheap as.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, on that very happy note,
Yes.
I'd like to say thank you very much.
Oh,
You're not a
thank
cheap
you,
guest
Sharon.
at all. You've been a most
It's
wonderful,
always a pleasure
entertaining,
working with you.
and interesting guest on
yeah.
Shazza's Laughter
It's
Hour.
nice to work with you and not play the world's smelliest man, as I did last time I worked with you.
Well, look, Peter Green, I've got something special for you because I know how busy you are and you've given up your time to be on Shazza's Laughter Hour this week.
Oh, look at
I've
this.
got a little prize
It's a
for
sea
you.
squirt.
It is literally a sea squirt.
Look at that! It's a sea. Oh,
It's a
It's got
sea
lights.
squirt. It's a sea squirt.
look at
Sea
that!
urchin.
It's like a punching ball.
It's a punching
for a romper room.
ball.
Punch
bring up
that
your
ball,
childhood.
punch it all night long.
And also,
Fantastic.
if your lights, if you
Oh, Shazza, that's
Got
the
your
best
lights
gift
go
I've gotten
out.
ever. Look at that.
and I just thought in honour of your
Oh.
scientific
Oh,
achievements.
that's so nice.
It's a little gift to say thank you very
That's
much for being on
fantastic.
Shazza's Laughter Hour
Thank
as
you
my
for
special
listening
guest.
to Shazza. She's great.
And
She knows how good laughter is for everyone.
it's very good for us on
Yeah,
every
it's good
level,
for you.
emotional, mental and physical.
No one ever dies in the middle of a laugh.
No, we don't.
As a scientist, I can tell you that.
Once again, thank you very much. Professor
Yeah.
Green, Dr. Green,
Doctor,
or whatever you want to
Professor,
call
yeah.
him, Greeny.
Greeny.
Wonderful guest. If you need a comedy writer, please get in touch and we will forward
Yeah.
your information to Peter
Exactly.
Green. We'll be back next Thursday night, 6 to 7 p.m. here at Radio Northern Beaches, 88.7 or
Yeah,
90.3
Northern
FM.
Beaches.
Or you can live stream on rnb.org.au. And until next week, have a happy, healthy and laughing week.